Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and thank you so much for taking the time to stop by and enjoy my trade review / market recap. We've been taking it easy, but we still have a lot of things that we want to go over. We left you guys off last time with, the S&P 500. We're challenging this downtrend, right? And then we're just kind of, indecisively swinging around it. But today, I think potentially we're showing a break up from it, which, could lead to continuation. So that looks really good. Something that we've basically just been waiting for as we trade sideways all week. It's been very, very boring. On that note, we also left off with SMX, doing the verified gold shenanigans. Now, whether or not this is a total and utter scam or not, it's going to will remain to be seen. Very sketchy press releases, but it's literally moving a lot of volume and has really good price improvement now for 2 days in a row. This is starting to leg up. So eyes on this for continuation. Even though I don't like it, I want to put that bias aside and continue to watch it if it goes. And then going further back, we've got Operation Southern Spear. They're talking about using robotics to combat the drug cartels in the Caribbean, right? So we gave everybody, a couple names to watch. I said, I really like KITT, right? That was the very first one I gave you. And I said, this is exactly what we're looking for, but we need to wait for volume to come in first because we don't want to be too early because it could bleed down. And that's, kind of what it did. It was bleeding down. But today, volume finally hit. And this exploded 120% plus another 23% after hours, 70 cents all the way up to $2, right? Something that we had literally mapped out for everyone ahead of time and had yelled about it plenty, right? Operation Southern Spear, and then there's this company doing aquatic-based robotics, which is really, really good. That's exactly, kind of the thing they're describing within the Caribbean. And just having to wait for volume for that to come in. And then today, their Trump administration's talking about pushing up robotics with a potential executive order, right? So, a lot of that racing today, and it was plain as day, right? They literally said that they're looking to utilize robotics, and then 2 weeks later, we're gonna continue to look at that, right? So, even before that, we talked about how quantum was the big runner last Christmas, and to a certain extent, this year as well has really been doing well. But the new runner, right? We're always looking for the new runner or new theme, and it's got to be robotics. We were pretty certain of it before, but now we have that conviction basically mapped in, and it's not going anywhere. With today's news on that, and it should run for a year or two if you wanted to swing some robotic names. So we've got obviously KITT, which is pretty decent, very low market cap, which makes it easy to move, right? But then there's also some bigger companies that are more well-defined, like Rich Tech Robotics, not too shabby. This is almost $500 million, right? Then there's ONDS, which again, I really like. Just mentioning this the other day too, for everybody. Went on a wicked tear this afternoon. Once that confirmation kind of came in. Before it was speculative. Now we have, it even is so speculative now, but once we get, an executive order, it's over. It's, these things are going to run indefinitely. So we also have ETF. We like BOTZ. BOTZ is probably our favorite robotics ETF. Also focusing in on a little bit of artificial intelligence, which I know people don't like. And then iRobot, have you ever seen that movie? That's been my entire investment thesis for the last 10, 15 years, since the movie came out, literally. And it's done really well for myself, so it's kind of funny to see, iRobot company doing well when we're actually finally starting to look at robotic companies, which is awesome. Then we have MBOT. This is kind of like a medical company where they're doing like nanobots to help heal you, which is kind of crazy, but still, it's on the radar. And then IRBT is here doing its thing as well today. A little bit lower volume here, but just some robotic names that I am keeping an eye on. into Christmas and throughout next year as well. So we wanted to jump in and give you those. And then this morning, I think VCIG was trying to maybe do something, or that was yesterday. Yesterday we had a little nice swing up here, right? And then PLRZ, I guess, would have been on that list yesterday. And I think this might have even had continuation today. So yeah, nice gap up yesterday, held trend, but did break down, reversal signal this morning. And what is going on here? That is in the minute live. Well, we record from $8 to $9. What a bar. Do we have news on this? Yes, we have SEC Form 6K from 2 hours ago and 9 hours ago. Results for intranasal naloxone hydrol. I don't even know. That's a thing. So let's take a look at the news. 9:50 in real time. I wish, I tried to get these videos out to you guys ahead of time before these bars happen, but it is what it is, right? Let's take a closer look at that news because that is ripping. What's going on here? So it's the 6K, which is good, right? But B, I think this is probably the more substantial news. I don't know. There's no monetary value here, so that's typically what I just look for. Some things I just never understand, and I won't try to pretend like I do. I just follow the volume, and so if this is going to be running tonight like that is a massive bar. Eyes on tomorrow. This is definitely going to be on our watch list. 24% in 1 minute. Never mind the 2 minutes preceding up to 33. So that is substantial and worth watching, right? So that's pretty cool that we catch that in real time for you guys. Robotic companies going on the POTUS announcement. We kind of talked about that. This is for the GameStop video. We'll do that later. So not really a lot going on as trade review. I've been a little bit busier as we're doing the live stream here on YouTube. 12 Eastern to 4, just to get the second half of the day focusing on GameStop. But again, we can field any questions that you may have through the broader market as well as, we typically are tracking the S&P 500 also. And crypto's coming back up from its dump. It was at like 82K. We're up at about 93. So liquidity coming back into the market, which is nice. On that note, we see the reverse repo at all-time lows, right? So, this signifies belief in the markets, right? Which is really good. So we'll have to wait and see, for this to change, right? Let's check out the overnight, right? All-time low. So this is like uncertainty within the market where, we feel like there's too much risk as banks. We're going to park our money with the Fed instead. And then this is, obviously showing confidence or conviction in the market, more so for a rate of return than the Fed's willing to give. So when this starts to climb, then I'm going to get a little worried. And then on that note, we also had the CME rate decision, right? This was previously looking at no rate cut for December, but now we're at 90% rate cut. So that's very interesting. And because of that, I think the market is forward looking and it's going to pre-bake that data in for the rate cut next week. So, things look pretty good as far as I'm concerned, but obviously they are able to break down at any point, right? Thank you for watching. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon in the next